Hey friends, this is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. In this video, we're going to talk about what Uber drivers really make. Well, it depends. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my rideshare road warriors. What's going on? This is Carlton Lewis, aka Mellow Melanin, aka Mega Businessman, coming to you live and direct from Atlanta, Georgia. In this video, we're going to talk about what Uber drivers really make. And actually, it depends. You know what? I forgot my tablet. Hold on. All right, I got my act together. I got my tablet. Tablet has all my notes on it. And so, I come up with 5 different things. And I say it depends, what drivers really make. And there are several factors. So it ranges. It ranges from, I can't even begin to tell you, because there are part-time drivers, there are full-time drivers. But if you're full-time, it depends on your market too, but you should easily be able to make $1,000 a week if you're full-time. All right. I've done it. I do it most weeks. It's rare when I don't do it. Some weeks my high has been $1,500, but I have friends who, depending on some of these factors I'm going to share with you, their incomes have gone over $2,500, $2,600, $2,700. And that depends on other factors. And I'm going to cover these with you guys. All right. I don't want anybody to think just because they start driving Uber, they're going to make $2,500 in a week. That's a pipe dream. Don't do it. It takes a lot of factors that are involved in that. And I'm going to cover that. So let's just go ahead and jump in it, right? So the first thing, is where you drive. And I talk about this all the time. The main 2 things, the top 2 things I'm going to tell you, I talk about these all the time. Most of the drivers who have rideshare channels, they say the same exact thing about this. It depends on, number 1, where you drive, and number 2, when you drive. Because where you drive is important, because you want to go to a place where there is high demand. All right. And I know this is common sense for a lot of my fellow veteran drivers, but there are some new people who haven't been exposed to this information. And so I want to share that with them. So where you drive is very important. Me personally, I like to drive where I know people are spending money and they have more disposable income. So I like to drive in affluent areas where money is flowing. People have money. They can afford the ride. It's not a bargain ride for them. It's not, they're just going down the street. And even if they are, that's okay. But I like to be in areas where people can really afford the rides. I also like to be around a lot of hotels. I'm not going to give you all the wheres, but this is just a factor. This is one of the factors. I have 5 factors, and if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you a bonus factor. All right? Seriously. So number 2 is when you drive. So when you drive is very important. Like right now, it is 11:35, 11:40 here in Atlanta, right? And typically things slow down between 10 in the morning and 2 p.m. because everybody's where they need to be. The majority of people have gone where they need to be. They're at work, they're at school, they've gone to the airport. You may get some stragglers in between those hours, but for the most part, those are the busy times. That's Monday through Friday. And weekends, it's a different strategy. So the weekend evenings are good for, especially Friday evening, Saturday evening. This is pretty much common knowledge. Most drivers will tell you this. Most veteran drivers will tell you this. But again, there are some newbies who don't know this information, and they will just get out and say, well, I'm going to drive during 9 to 5. I'm going to do it like a 9 to 5 job. And they wonder why they're not making any money. Ask me how I know that. All right. So number 3, and this is a big deal, especially now, right? Your vehicle type. So Uber has different platforms. You guys check my Uber head, right? I got my Uber swag from being one of the top drivers here in Atlanta, and they just gave some swag out at a what was it? It was a movie screening several years ago, and I just kept the hat. So the type of vehicle that you drive and I digress, the type of vehicle that you drive is very important. If you just have a car that can only qualify for Uber X and pool, you're not going to make I'm not going to say you're not going to make as much money, because you can get to the money. You got to spend more time putting in more hours, and you got to do more rides than if you had a vehicle that could do more profiles. All right. And what I mean by profiles is your Uber X, Uber Select, Uber Comfort, which is their latest thing, Uber XL, Uber Black, and Uber Black SUV. So if you have a vehicle that can do these higher platforms, then you can command more money. So like, if you're shopping for a vehicle to do this, especially if you're trying to do it full time, and I wouldn't, unless you have some kind of skills and you know your city, I wouldn't recommend anybody do this full time. It takes a special person to do this full time. Only about 5% of the people who actually start and try to do this will make it full time. So I would advise anybody to just start part time. Do it part time so you can really understand what it's about. Take a trip as well, become a customer, be a rider, take a trip as well so you can see what it's like. All right. So your vehicle type really, really matters. Like I have an XL vehicle, so I can command a little bit more money than an Uber X or Uber Comfort. What I can't get though with this particular vehicle is select rides, Uber Black SUV. So it matters. It really, really matters what type of vehicle you have. So I have friends that don't take Uber X at all, but because my vehicle can take Uber X, Uber Comfort, and Uber XL, that's what I take. But I don't wait around for those. That's a whole different, we're not really talking about mindset yet, but that's a key thing. Your mindset, you got to be willing to do whatever your platform, can do, whatever your profile can do. So sometimes it may not be popping for Uber XL. And I'm just speaking for me. Some people can wait it out. I got buddies that can wait it out, and they'll wait. They won't take an X. I'll take an X, but with a strategy. I don't take just random X rides. I definitely don't do any pool rides because of the way I, run my destination filter. All right. The next thing on the list, we talked about where you drive. We talked about when you drive. We talked about your vehicle type. Now we're going to talk about your skill level. We're all at different skill levels. All right. So like I said, to start as a newbie, to come out of the box, especially now, maybe when the prices were different, several years ago, maybe you probably could have made, $2,000 on X in a short period of time, but things have changed. So you have to really have some type of skill. You have to be knowledgeable where to drive and when to drive, and you have to know the migration of people, where's the best chance of you getting a ride. You need to know your city, how to get around your city. Like a city like Atlanta is very highly congested now, and you need to know how to get around on back streets. You need to know how to use your GPS. You need to know a lot of different things. It takes a lot of skill. So it's not dependent. I mean, a person that's new, just starting, they're not going to make the same amount of money as someone who's been doing this for 5 years or 3 years or even a year. Okay. It's different. It's very different. So it's not like a regular job where you go in and so like they have a position at McDonald's. I'm just going to use that for lack of a better example. So they have a position at McDonald's, and in that position, you're a cashier. All right. So you're a cashier. Maybe you make $8 an hour, and maybe you make $10 an hour, but they start all the cashiers out at that because they're employees. With Uber, you're independent contractor. So it's up to you to generate the money, and the money that you make is going to be determined by your skills. Some of these other factors, like I said, all of these other factors really, and your skills come into play. So you got to step your skill. You got to step your skill level up, your personal development. Number 5 skill that you should really step up, and this is one of the factors. Number 5 is your customer service. Your customer service. And your customer service, it doesn't just extend to saying good morning, hello, how are you? You know, the nice courtesies, the typical common courtesies that you should give a person anyway, especially if they're getting into your car and you've never met them before, but also how your car looks. Look, my car is clean. My car is super duper clean. And I like to keep my car clean because you get better ratings, you get tips. People like that. So you definitely want to think about other types of customer service. You know, some people don't get customers' bags out of their car or load the bags up. I like to load the bags up in the car myself. I like for things to be a certain way. You know, I like to do that myself. You know, I really pride myself on giving world-class customer service. And that also extends to the type of conversations that you're having with these people. I recommend you read this book, and I'll put it in the description at the bottom, right? How to Win Friends and Influence People. You need to read that book, okay? That book will help you out when you're doing your personal interactions with people. Another good book you can read, it's a negotiation book, and we're always negotiating. We're always selling whether we realize it or not. So another book you can read is called Never Settle for the Never Split the Difference. Yeah, Never Split the Difference. I'll put that in the description too. So this is really, you're really building business skills, you know, outside of just taking people around. That's just the thing you do. That's just the thing. That's the service that you're providing, is taking someone around. But if you really understand what's happening, you're building business skills. Some people are terrified to death of putting strangers in their car. You know, it can get, don't get me wrong, it can get a little sketchy every now and then, but you got to be smart. You know, be smart. Don't pick up people in extremely dark, remote areas. You know what I mean? Look at your surroundings, pay attention to your surroundings, and use your common sense. Hopefully you got common sense. You know, use your common sense, use your intuition. You know, feel it. You know, if it doesn't feel right, cancel the ride. I had to do one like last week, I think it was. I was in an area and it was dark and it looked like there was a rehab house going on, you know, where there was all kind of equipment outside, but nobody was coming to the car. I didn't hear anything. I think I called the phone and nobody answered the phone. I didn't wait for the timer to phase out for me to cancel that ride. I just left. It's your business. Treat it like a business. It'll pay you like a business. All right. So I said to you guys, I'm going to run these down to you once again. It's where you drive, when you drive, your vehicle type, your skill level, your customer service. All right. Remember, this is not a job. Your income is totally up to you. So while you're doing this, number six is a bonus add-on. Add on other income streams to what you're doing already. So you guys heard me talk about the cargo box. You know, that's a way to generate some extra income. So there's a link in the description already for cargo. You also see other links in my description. You know, you hear some of these top YouTubers, the ones that are really teaching you how to make money and not just doing entertainment. You'll see them promoting their referral code. And then you'll have some other people like, why are you promoting the referral code? This is going to be saturated with drivers. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's really not. So promote your referral code. The Simple Driver has several videos. He just did one recently on how to turn your referral code that Uber and Lyft give you to shorten it, to make it look more attractive, to brand you instead of branding the company, right? And I know that may be over some of you guys' head, but look for other streams of income. Just like with this particular platform that I'm on right now with YouTube, there are several ways to generate money with YouTube. A lot of it has to do with affiliate marketing. Kelvin talks about that in his videos as well. It's nothing new, but you have to be smart. You have to look at, you know, okay, I can only put in so many hours behind this steering wheel. What other ways can I, you know, use this time constructively so it works for me? And I always tell you guys, when you have downtime, work on what you really want to do. If you're doing this full time, work on what you really, really want to do, because there will come a time, trust me, you're a human being. We're human. There's going to come a time when something's going to happen and you won't be able to drive your car for the day, or you may not be able to drive it for a week, or could be an accident. And I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom. I'm just being realistic. All right. So those things can happen. You know, you have to be able to put yourself in a position to where you're earning income and where you don't have to be there physically to generate that income. All right. You want to get some passive income or some portfolio income and not keep trading your time for dollars, because honestly, yeah, we can make a decent amount of money doing Uber and Lyft and ride share and gigs and all different things in the gig economy. But as long as we're personally doing it, there's a limitation to how much we can earn, because we actually physically have to be there in order to generate the money. So we want to get away from that rat race, because it's the rat race. You know, it seems good on the surface, but when you really think about it, and when you dig deep in and you look at how it's set up, it's not set up for a long-term play. Okay? It's not set up for a long-term play. So you have to be smart. You have to be smart. I hope you guys taking heed to what I'm saying. And I also want to make sure I apologize to you guys. I know a lot of people signed up to my tradewithcarlton.com, to my Forex list. And if you guys been watching any videos for this past month or so, you would know that I'm putting that on the back burner and focusing on real estate. So I will send an email out to you guys. You can still join that list, don't get me wrong, but I will be talking more about real estate. And I'm leaning more toward doing a real estate investing channel as well, because there's only so much you can do with rideshare. You know, there's only so many tips you can give with rideshare. And I'm moving to something different, and I want the people that want to be with me as I move through this journey, I want you guys to come with me. All right. Because there are so many other ways to generate income other than driving a car, or just one way of generating income. I like multiple streams of income, and the way that I'm doing this creative financing, I think that's going to help out a lot of people. Actually, I know it's going to help out a lot of people. It's going to help out a lot of sellers. It's going to help out a lot of buyers. It's going to help me and my family out. It's going to help my friends out. It's going to help some of you viewers out, so you guys can believe. I got a phone call. Hey, I totally apologize about that. Some random phone call was calling in. I do all of my videos on my phone, so I may just edit that out. So like I was telling you guys about the benefits of real estate investing, creative financing, because there are several different ways to invest in real estate. You can do flips, you can do the landlord, you can do buy and hold, like I said, where you're doing landlord. You can fix it up, fix up a old house, rehab it, and sell it for top dollar. You can trade paper under the notes. You can do a lot of different things. You become a property manager. You can do mortgages. You can do a whole bunch of different things around the area of real estate. You could be an appraiser. You could be an inspector. You can be a real estate agent. You can be a lot of different things. You can be the actual contractor going out swinging the hammer. You can do a lot of different things. And there's so many different ways to generate income, but I like creative financing. I've been trained in creative financing, and it's time for me to continue to spread my wings. As a matter of fact, I'm going to wrap it up with this. I went and I've started the process, reserved my LLC name. I've got all the scripts I need to talk to sellers, because you need systems and you need scripts. And I got the mentors in place, because you got to have mentors. You need somebody who's walked that path before you, who's done it better than you, because I know how to do it. But trust me, there are some people that know how to do it better than me, who are more consistent than me. So, it's that time. And I appreciate rideshare. I appreciate Uber and Lyft and Amazon and DoorDash and all these different things that allowed me to get to that sweet spot to where I say, okay, enough is enough. I need to do what I know how to do. So, my mentor said to me, if you only do what you already know how to do, things would change. And it's time to make that change. All right. So I hope you guys got some value out of this video. Make sure you subscribe, hit the subscription button, hit the little bell, and make sure you get all the latest updates. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Once again, this has been Carlton Lewis. I hope you guys got some value out of this video. I know it's probably kind of long, but I wanted to pack it in full of value, because if someone tells you may see a video out here that says, well, I made $1,500 in a week, or I made $1,000, or I didn't make any money, or I made $500, or I'm living in my car. You hear all these different stories about how much Uber drivers make, or they're not making, but no one's really telling you, giving you the real on there are a lot of different factors that affect how much money that you make. It's a business. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. You have real expenses, treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. You treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. So there you go. Peace.